It's been quite a busy year for the Hawks in their bid to push back on high incidents of crime. Head of the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation, Lieutenant General Godfrey Lebeya, has been giving an update on progress made in high priority cases. eNCA reporter Moloko Moloto is following these developments. Let's cross over to him now for the very latest. Moloko, good afternoon to you. What did the Lieutenant General Godfrey Lebeya have to say?
Good afternoon, Tumelo. Indeed, this was an update regarding the progress which the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigations, popularly known as the Hawks, has made in the third quarter. This is for a period from October last year to December. Of course, he has outlined a number of cases that he says they have cracked. But of course, there are so many questions which South Africans still have, and I want to bring him into these conversations. Lieutenant General Lebeya, thank you so much for your time. You did say that you have received more statements with regard to the investigations into the Palapala matter, but South Africans would like to know that, of course, obviously you're not going to be investigating forever. When are you likely to finish with your investigations? Are there timelines? But also, have you received any representation from Mr. Arthur Fraser?
As you will know, from Mr. Fraser, we have received the statement, the founding statement, plus an additional statement. That is all what we got. We haven't received representation. We are not sure if there will be representation and on what ground. Yeah.
Anything from the president?
We haven't approached. If an investigation is done and then the allegation is suggesting that a particular person needs to be approached, you don't approach that person before you complete your investigation, because you need to be giving that particular person the right. You have to inform the person of what the allegations are all about, providing the person with the constitutional right that that person have got the right to remain silent and the like, and hear the other side. So we haven't reached that stage.
So in other words, there's no timeline set as to when you will conclude the investigations into Palapala.
We are being guided by what is contained in the docket. We are not working alone. This obviously, you know that the decision will always rest with the one who will prosecute at the end of the day, or the one who will decide not to prosecute at the end of the day. So ours is just to complete as we are guided. What is that which needs to be acquired?
You gave an update with regard to the COVID-19 corruption. And I think sometime last year, through your spokesperson, Brigadier Mbambo, you pointed out that investigations into the digital vibes are at an advanced stage. At this point in time, can you give us an update, but also regarding the former minister, Mr. Zweli Mkhize? Is he one of the people or persons of interest? Is he a suspect?
Yeah, you know that from the DPCI, we never comment about suspects who are involved in any. If the allegations are being made, we investigate the allegation, not a specific person. So the matter of the digital vibes, as you know, that a certain portion, certain leg is already at court, and then there are certain legs that are still under investigation. As to who, at the end of the day, the evidence is pointing out to, we can't say that. Yeah. So, but otherwise, the evidence will guide us as to who is supposed to be approached.
You say you don't investigate persons, you investigate cases, but the State Commission, or the Commission on State Capture that was led by Chief Justice Raymond Zondo, made specific recommendations when it comes to the former Premier of the Free State, Ace Magashule. It actually said him, together with Mosebenzi Zwane, who at the time was MEC there, must be investigated. Specifically mentioned them. We know Mosebenzi Zwane is before court with regard to the Friede case, but not Ace Magashule. How far are you with regard to that? But also, if I can add, the people like Gwere, the Minister of Mineral Resources, Nomvula Mugonyane, Zizi Godwa, are you at any point in time investigating those?
Yeah, I think that is a point of departure. As I've said, we are not mentioning the names of individuals when we investigate. What we can say is that all the recommendations that have been made in the Zondo State Capture Commission report are receiving attention. We are not working alone on this. You will know that the principal agency that is tasked with the investigation of these matters is the ID, Investigative Directorate. We have provided our investigators to help the investigating directorate with some of the matters. Some of the matters that the investigating directorate is not dealing with, we are dealing with. We already have some of the accused persons in court on the cases emanating from the State Capture Commission report. As an example, you know the Northwest, the Van Wyk matter and others. So all what I can say is that all the recommendations that have been made in the State Capture Commission are receiving attention, but we will not mention.
When are people going to see action, Lieutenant General? Because it's been more than a year, if not more, since those recommendations were made. And it's interesting that you don't want to mention names, yet the Commission was very specific that investigates so and so.
I have already indicated some of them are already at court. Some of them are...
Not Ace Magashule with regard to that State Commission, not Gwedaman Dashe?
Yeah, remember I said that I'm not dealing with the names of individuals. So I say that the recommendations from the State Capture Commission are receiving attention. I give you an example of the matter in the Northwest where we have executed arrest. You know of the matters in Bosasa, so we can't say that we do not know the matters that are already on the court roll emanating from the State Capture Commission. We have had in the Free State that other matters that they shall have mentioned, the asbestos matters, are on the court roll. So we can't say that nothing is at court.
All right, let's conclude then, Lieutenant General. Your mandate as the Hawks partly is to investigate and prevent national priority crimes such as serious organized crime. And we saw the president, I think it was last year, deploying members of the South African National Defence Force to power stations. Some people argued that basically that was the job that you should have done, investigate if there's organized crime there. Some are arguing that actually there is organized crime there. Is that a vote of no confidence in you as the Hawks, in that you have failed to do your job, and as a result, the army is brought in?
You will understand that I have even tried to cite some examples of the successes that we have registered regarding ESCOM itself. So there are already matters that we are handling. There were arrests that were executed, and we can't obviously reveal or what project is taking place. The guarding of the premises, properties is not our responsibility. Ours is to deal with serious organized crime.
What progress have you made as the Hawks in terms of arresting those who are sabotaging those particular power stations? I would agree with you that ESCOM would need to hire its own security, but surely you had a responsibility there. The involvement of the army should not have happened had you done your job.
If the security have guarded those environment, that is the establishment, damage shall not have happened. So when damage have happened, a crime will still be committed. Ours is to investigate. You will appreciate that we will not be able to prevent all the activities that we are talking about in the country, be it cash in transit, be it unrest, when people begin to do those unrest activities, be it poaching. The national priority offenses is varies, and we deal with all those. But the fact that you bring in preventative mechanism does not suggest that we are incompetent, because most of our work is to respond.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate, Lieutenant General Godfrey Lebeya, he's also an advocate, and as you can see, he is in a regalia looking colorful, obviously not willing to divulge much there. Tumelo.
Yeah, we can understand, Moloko, definitely the questions reflecting the frustration of most South Africans at this point who would like to see movement, convictions. But of course, as the advocate said, some of those cases being before court, I think it's the pace with which is equally frustrating to South Africans since those recommendations were made by the Zondo Commission. We'll continue to track these developments, and thank you so much, colleague Moloko Moloto, for this update. Speaking to the Lieutenant General Advocate Godfrey Lebeya, giving us more updates around issues of those in government, particularly also accused of various crimes, but also allegations of corruption, and answers being needed at this point. When will we see justice?